Welcome to the deep dive. You know that old saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression? Well, it feels like nowhere is that more true than in a really critical job interview, especially for a role like an administrative analyst. Today, we're taking a bit of a unique shortcut. We're going to leverage insights from Kaplan to understand not just what to say, but maybe why certain answers really hit the mark, you know? What do you think is maybe the biggest misconception people have when they're prepping for these kinds of interviews?
Yeah, that's a great place to start. I think often people believe it's just about memorizing lines like a script. But the source material we're looking at today, these Kaplan insights on common questions, it goes much deeper. It's really about understanding the core skills, the valuable insights employers are actually trying to get from how you answer. So preparation isn't just the words, it's what your answers reveal.
Yeah.
Your ability to spot issues quickly, develop good solutions, make sure everything's accurate. That's what they're listening for.
Okay, so this deep dive then, it's really like a strategic guide for you, the listener, helping you confidently talk about your actual hands-on experience, your specific qualifications, your logical way of solving problems, and definitely those essential data analysis skills. We're basically here to help unpack what employers are really looking for, beyond just the resume points. Our mission, help you make a great impression and really understand that secret sauce to standing out. Okay, let's get into it. Kaplan points out 6 key questions that, well, if you're going for an administrative analyst role, you should definitely be ready for. The first one is a classic opener. What experience do you have in administrative support? And Kaplan gives a pretty solid example answer here. I have 5+ years of experience working in administrative and analyst roles. I have a strong background in developing process improvements, evaluating various systems, and providing high-level organizational support.
Yeah, and what's really insightful about that answer, it's how it shifts, right? From just listing years to showing a mindset. So many people just list tasks they did, but saying developing process improvements, that immediately flags you as someone proactive, an optimizer, someone who doesn't just do the job, but looks for ways to make it better, which is huge in admin roles today. It's a difference between like just being a doer and being a strategic contributor. And evaluating various systems shows critical thinking, high-level organizational support that says reliability, handling complexity. Employers aren't just checking a box for experience. They want the quality of it, the impact.
That's a really good distinction, doing versus optimizing. I
Yeah.
like that. So if that first answer kind of lays the groundwork, the next one digs into your specific toolkit
Yeah.
because it's not just what you've done, but like what qualifications you actually bring. So the next common question is, what qualifications do you have for this role? And the Kaplan suggestion includes, I hold a bachelor's degree in business administration and a master's degree in organizational management. I also have experience with project management methodology, data analysis and reporting, and performance management.
Right. And beyond just the degrees, which are important, sure, mentioning things like project management methodology
Mm.
and performance management. That's not just buzzwords. It tells them you understand structure, how to break down big tasks, how to measure if something's working. These are qualities that elevate an admin analyst from just reactive support to someone who can proactively manage things. For an analyst, this means you can juggle your own priorities, maybe even coordinate small projects or track how well those admin processes you improved are actually doing.
Okay, this next one feels like where you can really show your stuff. Describe a time you had to troubleshoot a complex issue in your role as administrative analyst. What do you think interviewers are really listening for here? Kaplan's example is interesting. I had to develop a customized reporting system for a large client from scratch. The challenge was that the client's exact requirements weren't quite clear, so I had to find a way to get clarification without causing any delays in the project timeline. I ended up speaking directly to the client to ensure that I had a clear understanding of their needs.
Mhm. The key there isn't just that you solve the problem, it's the process and showing you were proactive. That phrase, unclear requirements, that happens all the time in the real world for analysts. It's common. So the ability to, as they say, find a way to get clarification without causing delays. That shows problem solving, yes, but also communication skills and keeping things on track. Project management, really. And the solution itself going directly to the client. That shows initiative. Good interpersonal skills, crucial for an analyst who often acts as a bridge, between maybe technical folks and business needs. It's about taking ownership, driving towards getting it resolved.
Yeah, I can totally see that. That proactive communication, especially when things are fuzzy, must save so much time and headache later on. That's a real differentiator. Which leads nicely into the next one. How do your problem-solving skills benefit this role as an administrative analyst? The example answer highlights, I have the ability to think logically and quickly, understand complex data, and make logical conclusions or recommend solutions independently. These skills are all very beneficial because I am able to identify issues quickly and develop solutions.
See, this answer connects the dots. It explicitly links your skills to their benefit. That's smart. Thinking logically and quickly. Okay, that suggests you're agile, you can think on your feet. Understanding complex data, well, that's pretty central to being an analyst, right? But the part that really jumps out is being able to make logical conclusions or recommend solutions independently. That implies you're self-sufficient. You don't just spot problems. You figure out what to do about them. You propose a way forward. And that's exactly what they hire an administrative analyst for, to move from seeing an issue to actually doing something about it, not just raising flags.
Right, taking that next step. And data, well, data's everywhere now. Every admin analyst deals with it. So no surprise, Kaplan flags this one. Describe your experience with data analysis and reporting. The answer they suggest covers, I have 5+ years of experience in generating relevant business insights from underlying data. Use various software programs, experience coding in SQL.
Yeah, this is where they drill down on your technical chops.
Yeah.
The 5+ years is good. It shows history. But the really key phrase is generating relevant business insights from underlying data. It's not just about being able to use Excel or something. It's about understanding what the data means for the business, translating it. Mentioning various software programs shows you're adaptable. You can learn new tools. And specifically calling out coding in SQL, that's a big one, that shows a real practical, valuable skill. For an admin analyst, like you said, data's key. If you know SQL, you can often pull your own custom reports quickly. You don't have to wait days for IT sometimes. You can validate info yourself. That gives you speed, autonomy. Huge advantage. Shows technical depth.
That agility you mentioned, yeah, that's gold. I remember hearing about a junior analyst. Impressed everyone just because they could whip up a quick SQL report HR needed fast while everyone else was stuck waiting. It really shows the value. Okay, finally, something absolutely critical in any analyst role. How do you ensure accuracy in your work? And the Kaplan source suggests this approach. I always take a detailed and organized approach. I like to double-check my work. Additionally, I will sometimes seek out feedback from senior members.
This answer gets at your commitment to quality. It's more than just saying, I pay attention to detail. A detailed and organized approach. Okay, that's the baseline, but adding the extra steps, double-checking work, and seeking feedback from senior members, that's systematic. It shows you have a process for catching errors and also for learning and improving. It shows humility, actually. Being willing to ask for another pair of eyes. Team player. And it signals you understand just how important accuracy is, especially with data or reports that people rely on. It basically says you can trust my work. It won't need constant hand-holding.
Right. So putting it all together, we've covered showing your hands-on admin support experience, nailing down your specific qualifications for the job, your logical way of tackling tricky problems, and proving you can handle data analysis and reporting. Plus, that crucial piece about demonstrating accuracy, being detailed, checking your work, getting feedback. It's really clear, isn't it? It's not just what you say, but the capabilities you're showing underneath.
Exactly right. Each of these questions and the thinking behind the answers, they point to those broader themes vital for any good administrative analyst. Things like synthesizing information, troubleshooting genuinely complex stuff like that reporting system example with fuzzy requirements, and just ensuring precision. Always. When you articulate these answers well, you're really showing critical thinking, your ability to reach logical conclusions on your own. That's the hallmark of a strong analyst, someone who can be a real strategic asset, not just support staff.
And maybe that's where the real deep dive happens for you, the listener. Thinking beyond just reciting well-prepared answers to these common questions. How can you genuinely differentiate yourself? How can you make that first impression really count in a way that, goes beyond the script? How do you show authentic problem-solving skills and that absolute commitment to accuracy in an administrative analyst role? Definitely something to think about as you prep for that next big opportunity.